channel. Today I am going to be budgeting out my first paycheck for October. Sorry if I'm being a little quiet. My fiance's like behind me sleeping, so I'm not trying to be too loud, but hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Okay, so for this paycheck, which is paycheck number 1, I got paid $1,487. Hopefully you guys can see that. And some change, but I'm not going to write it down. Okay, so let me get my calculator. Hold on, you guys. Okay, you guys, I'm back. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see this. I'm so sorry for the glare and everything, you guys. It's really late at night. I'm just trying to get this video out to you guys, and I need to budget out my paycheck before I spend all the money and not know where it goes. So here we are. Okay, so $1,487. We are going to put aside $350 for rent. Okay, so we have $1137 left, and then we are going to pay our internet because I know this is due on the 9th, and that is $65. So subtract 65. We'll have 1,072 left. All right, so I am going to, I think everything else I'm going to pay with my next paycheck. Yeah, so I'm going to put $600 aside for my envelopes. So that leaves me with $472. Okay, so then I am going to put $160 away for gas because I do work this week, so $160, and then $50 for groceries, and then $50 for spending, which leaves me with $212. I think what I'm gonna do with those $212 is pay off some of my credit card. A little confession: I did put about $300 on my credit card because I had to renew my nursing license and I had no idea it was $300. So guess what other envelope I'm going to be making? So I have to renew it in 2 years, but I want to be prepared for it. So I'm going to make an envelope for my nursing license, and I'm going to save up as much as I can for the next time I have to do that, because I know the next time I have to do my CEUs, which is like classes I have to take to be able to renew it for the next time. So I'm putting money away because I have to pay for those, and I have to pay for my license. So that's that. So I'm gonna put that towards my credit card, and I don't know, you guys, I don't know how much I owe on my credit cards. I've been paying them off, but for some reason they keep going up, and I'm not even sure if it's me spending on them or what, but I'm sure it's me and I'm not conscious about it. So okay, so then minus the 212, that equals 0. All right, so now let's go in and break down the $600 onto my sinking funds if I could get this to go. All right, you guys, so we have $600 on the board. Okay, so I do have a story time for you guys today, and it is about this this documentary that I was watching, which honestly was really weird. So I'm gonna be putting down my categories and talking to you guys at the same time. Let's see if I can, because I'm really bad at multitasking, so I'm sorry if I get confused, you guys. This is why my last ones, when I did story times, I did it just when I was doing the 100 envelope box. But yeah, okay, let's continue. So the documentary was about this guy. He was going out with this girl, and I guess he ended up cheating on this girl, and she found out, so she broke it off with him, And then he somehow ended up getting another job. So at this new job, he met this other girl, and he like fell head over heels for this girl, like head over heels for her. So okay, so let's start. For Sway, I'm gonna put $40. Oh my god, what did I do? 600 minus 40, 560. Oh, let's put these down first, you guys, because remember last time I didn't have enough. Okay, for the 2K challenge, I had pulled, it was 50 and 58, which makes 108. So minus 108. Okay, and then for the 100 envelope box, I had picked out number 41, number 78, and number 75. Okay, 41, 78, 75, which leaves us with 258. Something tells me that's not right. Okay. Oh yeah, never mind. 258 is correct. Never mind, it is. Okay. So he met this girl and he was like infatuated with her, right? But he didn't know that she was married, and she, like, everyone kept telling him that she was married and he did not know. But then he ended up putting two and two together because they never went out in public together. They were always just going to like his house, not even to her house, to his house. And when he finally realized, he ended up trying to break it off with her. Like, he was like, no, I'm not gonna be with you no more. Like, nah, this can't be it, you know? And so she said, I promise I'll leave my husband for you. I'll even tell him in front of you this and that. And he was like, all right, I'll believe it when you do it, you know? So then, okay, so for car registration, we're gonna do $10. For car insurance, we're gonna do $50. For Christmas, we are gonna do $50. So basically he was like, you know, I want to see it. I want to see it to believe it, this and that. And she was like, fine, I'll prove it to you. Come over to my house. And, you know, obviously he was like ready for her to like leave her husband for him or whatever. So he was like, okay, you know, she was like, I'll make you some lasagna and everything. And then, you know, we'll have a talk and everything. And I'll tell him like, I want to be with you, which already sounds suspicious. You know what I mean? Like coming over for lasagna so I could tell my husband, hey, I want to leave him, you know, like it's just odd, right? So then, he didn't really tell anybody that he was going to go to her house, you know? So then after that time that he was supposed to be seen, nobody heard from him after that. Like, nobody really knew where he was either. So everybody thought he had just skipped town and he was just like, you know, disappeared because he wanted to or whatever. And then, so his ex-girlfriend, the one that he was with at first, she ended up trying to reach him and she couldn't reach him. And she had already heard somehow that he was messing around with a married woman and everything. So she ended up calling the cops and was like, hey, you know, can you guys, no, she was like, I think my ex-boyfriend's missing. Like, can you guys open up an investigation or try to find him or something? And so they ended up going to his house and doing a wellness check. Well, when they got to his house was trashed. Like, everything was everywhere, all over the floor, rotten food and everything. Like, so they were like, okay, either he abandoned his home or, you know, like he just lives messy or whatever. But which didn't make sense, you know? So they were like, no, this seems kind of odd, you know? So they started looking into his phone records and they started looking into like his, you know, they went to go talk to their coworkers and everything, and everybody at work was saying that he was messing with this girl that was married. So then they started looking into this girl and they found out that this girl is notorious for having affairs on her boyfriend, her husband, right? So when they find out, they start looking into all the people that people had said that she had affairs with and why all these people were missing. Everyone thought they up and left. But the cops were like, this is weird because how is it that she ends up having affairs with them and then they just disappear, you know? Like, it just makes no sense. but nobody has ever said anything about it. Like, no one's ever like reported these people missing or anything. So it was like kind of like, I don't know, like it was convenient for her. So I guess she thought it was going to be the same with this guy, which kind of makes sense though, because if the ex never had reported him, no one would have ever known that he was missing. Weird, right? How she knows about these people having no one to like look for them. So then, okay, let's continue. Vacation is going to get 40. Investing is not going to get anything. Home is not going to get anything. Emergency fund is going to get 20. Retirement is not going to get anything, and month ahead is not going to get anything. Okay, so can you guys see that? Okay, so for car maintenance, it's going to get $20. Okay, $68. For medical, that's not going to get anything. Supplies is not going to get anything. Couponing is not going to get anything. Laundry is going to get $20. Momo and Demon, which are my cats, they are going to get $20. And then giveaways is going to get $20. And then I believe I'm supposed to have $8 left, which is going to be for a buffer. So we're just going to leave it as that. So when they started looking into this guy, they were like, what's going on? So then I guess someone had reported his truck out in, I don't know, some plaza or whatever. They found his truck, and then in his truck, they found some directions, and they realized on that sticky note, it was directions to her house, on how to get to her house. So they were like, that's weird, you know, because she said he's never been to her house. So how did he have like directions on how to get to her house, right? So when they went to go speak to her, they were like, hey, you know, we're investigating this person. We heard you had contact with him. Like, when was the last time you talked to him? And she was like, the last time I talked to him was probably like 3 weeks ago. And they're like, interesting, 3 weeks ago is when the last time they had seen him, right? Or anyone's had contact with him. So then he was like, is there for any reason he would like abandon his truck at a plaza? And she goes, no. He loved that truck. And then the officers were like, red flag number 1, why is she speaking about him in past tense? Weird, right? Because supposedly he ran away and, you know, he's, you know. So then they did a whole investigation and everything, and they couldn't find anything. So they ended up hiring a psychic. And the psychic had like, so what ended up happening was her and her husband ended up moving out of state because she was like, I'm tired of being harassed by the cops, right? So then the place was vacant and they didn't let anybody rent it out. They hired a psychic, and the psychic walked into the house, but as soon as she walked in, she was like, this is where it happened. And they were like, what? And she was like, this is where it happened. He got hit behind the head and he fell down the stairs. Like, he didn't make it past the second step. And the cops were like, what do you mean? She was like, I'm looking at it clearly, like, this is where it happened. So they obviously can't take that to court or anything, so they couldn't really do anything about it. They just knew that something happened inside the house. So the case goes cold for 2 years, right? And then out of nowhere, 911 gets a call from this girl talking about her husband overdosed. So somehow her husband overdosed. Supposedly he was suicidal. And then when they took him into the hospital or whatever, he ended up dying. So he died and everything. And the cops were like suspicious. They were like, no, like, I believe, you know, something happened and she must have been scared that he was going to talk about, you know, the guy that died prior. So they started looking into his death and everything. So they couldn't get anything out of her, which was like frustrating because they couldn't finish the case without knowing what happened or anything. They had no body, they had no confession, they had nothing on him. So they didn't even know what the murder weapon was. So I guess the girl, as they kept talking to her, because they kept bringing her in for interviews, she ended up started liking one of the detectives. So okay, let's continue. 40, Sway can get 2 20s. Car registration, we can do 2 10s. Car insurance, we'll do 2 20s and 2 10s. For Christmas, we'll also do 2 20s and 2 10s. For vacation, we can do 220s. For emergency fund, we can do 120. For car maintenance, we can do 120. For laundry, we can do 120, which is over here. Momo and Demon, we can do 120. Giveaways can get a 20. And Buffer can get 1, 5, and 3 ones. All right, for 108, they can get 5 20s, 1, 5, and 3 ones. For the 100 envelope box, this one can get 2 20s and 1 1. The 78 can get 3 20s, 3 5s, and 3 1s. And 75 can get 3 20s and 1 5. Oh, wait, 3 5s. Right? Okay. So when that ended up happening was, from all the investigations and everything, she ended up starting liking one of these detectives, which was good because he ended up using it to his advantage. So he started texting her as if he liked her too, just to get some information out of her. And then when he kind of got like her like she ended up confiding into him and like really like believing that he liked her too. And she was like, can I tell you something and you won't say nothing? And he was like, yeah, that's fine. And then she ended up telling him like, I overdosed my husband because he was gonna talk about the prior murder. So he was like, okay, well, can we go and talk about it somewhere, like someplace other, you know, than her house? And she was like, yeah, that's fine. I really need to talk about it, this, and that. So then he ended up taking her to the police station, I guess, to an interrogation room. And he's like, don't worry. It's like, because I guess nobody was there or whatever. Like, I mean, they were there, but like nobody knew that he was there trying to get a confession out of her. Like, they weren't really like watching, you know? So then he went and he was talking to her. He was like, I just need to know like what happened. Who were you talking about? Like, what did you say earlier? And she ended up repeating everything, talking about, oh, I shot up my husband with heroin, and then I suffocated him because he was going to talk about, you know, the prior disappearance of, you know, my lover or whatever. And he was like, and what happened to that guy? And she was like, oh, well, that guy, we ended up, I ended up inviting him over for lasagna, and then we went upstairs. We had intercourse, and as we were coming down, she was like, my husband ended up walking in on us, like hugging at the top of the stairs. So he got his rifle and just shot him in the back of the head. He fell down. She goes, we ended up dragging his body down to the basement, and we chopped him up into little pieces, and then we put him in a garbage bag and we threw him out in the woods. And the guy was like, what? Like, that's what you guys did? And she was like, yeah. And he was like, what did you guys use to chop him up? And she was like, a little electric saw. So then they ended up like, you know, taking her to jail or whatever. And then they told her like, the cop was like, I can't do anything unless I find a body. I need proof that this is what happened, you know? So then they end up taking her to, like, they end up asking her like, hey, can you take us to the spot where you did that? And she was like, yeah. So she took him out there, but she was like, first off, I need a piece of pizza and I want some soda. And they were like, okay. They did anything just to keep her, you know, just to keep her happy, I guess, so she can keep giving him information. So she ended up like taking him to the spot. She was like, this is where I dumped it, like this is where it has to be. So they were looking, I want to say like 6 hours into looking, they ended up finding his skull. And they're like, so they finally were able to basically put the guy to rest and getting her for murder. And yeah, but I was like, oh my god, like over lasagna. She had lured him over with lasagna, and she had killed her husband thinking that he was gonna snitch on her. Y'all, it was crazy. I was like, wait a minute, what? Like, you never know who you could trust these days. It's crazy. Okay, let's count this, you guys. So there is 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 26. So we're going to do 26 20s. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 fives, and 3, 6, 9, 10 ones. So that is what we need for the cash envelope stuffing this week. All right, you guys, that was my little story. I will give you guys a story each time. We're gonna do, I think I'm gonna call it Money and Mystery, or Money and Murder. Which one do you guys think? Money and Murder or Money and Mystery? Money and Murder Mystery. I don't know. We'll see what I put on this video. But that is it for today, you guys. I'm sorry I'm whispering, you guys. As you guys know, my fiance is sleeping. But I will catch you guys in the next video. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.